scan to look at your watches again?
Come on in, dude. Like I've always appreciated Richard Mille and I love him, but until you get one and then you start reading about it and you read the story about him, the price doesn't make sense. Now it makes perfect sense.
Oh, you can
so he
sit
said
here.
you bought a watch yesterday?
Yeah, for my son.
Did you come see me?
Yeah.
The Grand Seiko.
Okay.
He's 9, so he needed something to look big on his wrist.
Oh yes,
Perfect
yes.
That's his first, timepiece.
That was 20 years. Wait.
Okay, he can. Do you have his number?
9. Yeah. It was 10 years before I got my first watch, and it was a Fossil.
Is this a dead-end present?
It is. It's platinum. The bezel were taken off.
It's real.
Put on the factory bezel.
Oh,
That's a date 8. That's a date 840, and this is a date 8
Let me
too.
look at it. Sure, I'll
It's a
call
40 millimeter, 41 millimeter.
Yeah, you got the last time I was
And this dial just got discontinued.
I mean,
I have to say, aftermarket
he always
bezel
sends
does not
people
look bad
here
on
to
that thing.
check out.
If it were real for what it's
What is
supposed to
it?
look like, it's white diamonds that were color treated. People do that because blue diamonds is
You buy
obviously
it,
be
give me
like
juice.
$1 million bezel.
Right.
So
I'll go. Who was it in red?
then I think it would be
real to me.
okay. Like if this were factory, this would be
I'm right now,
well over $1 million.
checking the watch.
But it's aftermarket. Nautilus 5711, then
Yeah,
Emerald
I don't get all
bezel.
those numbers.
Look at them all day, every day.
I was watching the Masters, and when Matsuyama just ran away with it on the last day, I literally watched 7 hours of your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
I,
You see the new one yet?
yeah, this morning. And the crazy thing is, and I tell everybody,
Got a surprise video coming tomorrow too.
I have no idea why I'm interested. It's like, it's not like reality TV, so it's not fake, but I can't stop watching it.
You're gonna
I
like
have to
the
watch
video.
every minute.
Yes, you're gonna love the video tomorrow then. I decided to do a separate video, so we're gonna do the normal day in the life video next Tuesday. That'll have everything in it, but I'm doing a smaller version tomorrow, just like straight to the point, deals, in and out, buy some deals, all the watches we bought, and then done.
So I went ahead and bought my daughter a Rolex, and she didn't come through for me. But I did ask for different specs.
You wanted
I
a...
couldn't find the one that we wanted. I just couldn't find it.
That hidden clasp is insanely popular right now. Plus,
can't find them.
watches, there's such a shortage. I got offered a couple of watches, they were just too high. And if I think a deal's too high, I'm not gonna put my name behind it because last thing I want you doing is overpaying, because I had to overpay, and then you come back in here 3 months from now and try to sell it to me. I'm just like, this is what I bought. If you do, you never know. People do.
I want to talk to you about this real quick, if you don't mind.
Yes.
This watch, I want it in the brown face.
Okay.
I can find them. The problem is, these guys cut it down to 7 1/4, and then they discontinued this strap. So now the only straps they have say Breitling down the side, and I don't
Right.
like that.
Okay.
So I need new old stock, or I don't care if it's used, as long as it still has the full rubber strap on it that's this style. And the second you find it is the day I buy it.
But you want a brown dial.
It's the brown dial. I have it in gold, I have it in white.
Okay.
But the brown champagne kind of root beer dial on the stainless,
Okay.
you can find them sometimes on the secondary market, but somebody with your wrist cut it down so tight that it will
Can't
never
get it
fit my
on.
wrist again.
Okay. Well, why not just find the watch and then find a strap?
Can't find the strap.
Oh, you
Because now they
can't.
only have the Breitling strap if you buy it from OEM.
So you want me to find an impossible to find Breitling?
Come on, if anybody could do it, Anthony.
I wouldn't say I couldn't do it.
mean,
I was
I'm
just
still
making sure we know what's going on.
I'm trying, but I know you're going to get further in a lot quicker time.
Did they maybe take this watch and take the bracelet off? Because if I was trying to pull something on someone and I had this watch like that and then I had this watch like this and a client walked in and they wanted to buy exactly what you're doing, I'd gladly take off the rubber strap on this one, replace it, and take the bracelet and put it on that one, because then the bracelet's worth more.
I know they sold them with the rubber.
I guess I was saying that to say, did they make it factory
Yes,
on the rubber strap?
they
Okay.
did.
Okay.
For sure at one point in time, but again, it's a discontinued watch.
Right. Hey, can you get this watch on the factory black rubber strap without the Breitling name down the side? I put that out to my guy that gets Breitling.
Your underrepresentation of Breitling in here is, I know it's a little below you.
Well,
They don't hold their value as much,
not.
but-
They're just harder to sell. Once I have another $2 or $3 million in my bank account that I can stock stuff with, my idea is to have a stock of Breitling, Panerai, Tag, Omega, IWC, Vacheron, Franck Mueller, everything. I want selections of at least 5 of the most popular models of each brand, at least.
I don't see those anywhere anymore.
They sell. There's a market for everything.
I'll put this in the safe. I'm not going anywhere. We have cameras. Everything's good. So let's do that. So
That's it.
As soon as you come back, say we're good.
That's a current model, though.
Is that cool?
Well,
That's what he's saying.
It looks like it's the right watch, but that can't be current.
Let me see.
They discontinued these. I know they discontinued them. I mean, unless they just brought them back and I didn't know. A lot of my money is I specifically do hazmat. So you remember the Galaxy Note 7 recall where it was blowing up on airplanes all
Yes,
the time?
yeah.
So I sold Samsung millions of pieces of packaging that were thermal material. But some of the other stuff that we do for like oil industry and stuff like that are big aluminum cases. Well, for my wedding party, I made these little trunks that held 6 or 7 watches. And it
Okay.
was, sandblasted with Breitling logos, and it's got the rivets like an old airplane has, and it's just,
that's cool.
it's premium. I could shrink that thing down. I don't even want to make money on it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even crap. I'll pass through it. It's just, I thought it would be so cool. I always wanted to put an OEM style watch box together for somebody. And I could even just make one for you out of fun and bring it up here and let you look
I
at it.
have
Yeah.
a request. I need a 1-to-1 box made, like a big present with Alcantara interior that's like custom for that watch.
Oh, for mine? Okay.
And
There you go.
made. If you can make me that, it's a one-off. It needs to be like an extra large.
That doesn't matter. We're a complete custom case company.
I'd want the logo glossy, the rest of the box just matte black.
Okay.
Open it up. So it just has the logo on the outside. You open it up, on the inside it says Gentleman Timepieces. But black
I
velvet,
want it
like
Rolex
that.
style, okay? So, but larger. So his box, I visioned all solid black.
Well, this is, think about for our boxes, like we're,
Oh, our daily boxes?
yeah, to give to customers. I replicate this,
I would replicate this.
our logo right here, Gentleman Timepieces on the inside.
Like this, in cursive.
Actually, that'd be
That's what I would do.
perfect.
Yeah.
I will pay you to have me a prototype in 2 weeks.
I don't even know if let me
Come on.
let me make a phone call. Gosh, dog.
You got it.
I've been looking for 2 links for a
You
while.
didn't even look.
Can you let me know if you've got? I need like 3. But
3?
700? Holy.
Here, pull them off here.
Whose watch is it? Jesus.
Hold on. Oh, I got somebody to call. Hey, I'll call you back, Kigler.
I'll call you right back. Who can you call? Call him real quick.
Yo, how are you? Don't put this voice on camera. Do you have white gold links for Oyster sub?
No, I do not.
Damn.
Is it the same as a Daytona?
Yeah, it's the same across the board. The same.
I have a link, but I'm not giving mine up.
Do you know if you can get me one?
Is that yours? Let's make some calls, man.
Can you make some calls for me, please? It's kind of like priority right now.
Yeah, solid.
Solid. New style.
Yeah, by the way, I have your
GMT.
both GMTs are ready. The Sky is ready. Green Letter Air King is ready.
Green letter Air King. Oh yeah.
Do you have a yellow, gold, green Daytona?
Yeah, that one's ready as well.
Oh, can you go get all those? Can
All right,
someone go get
Vic,
all those?
deploy.
Deploy. We need a new gong, or we need a new
Nug.
sound for.
What time are you gonna be there?
I'll call you when I get to it. Busy day.
All right. Can you just give me the safe combo?
Yeah, sure. Wait right there. I'll send it to you.
Do you have a
Thank
time?
you.
Do you have a time frame?
I knew we're friends. All right, thank you. I'll catch you later.
Are we getting these sharpened?
Dude, this is better. You need to get this one over that one. I'm telling you.
Ooh. Oh, hey.
18 karat 6240.
You know what I would consider?
Christmas.
Does that one you show me have
Nice.
any papers with it?
I'm sorry.
Does that one you show me have
Oh yeah, I need that.
people that are what's
For sale. If anybody's interested, hit me up. It'll be here.
Oh, this is cool.
Oh, it's a logo dial. Yeah, this is from my guy.
I couldn't do it. I was like, these are too hard to wear because they
Show you how crazy the market is on these things. We sold this brand new. What did we sell that one for? Like under retail, like 36, right?
Yeah, the first
About
time.
a year and a half ago. No, in February, right before COVID, we sold this watch fully stickered, brand new, with an open card for I think $36,000. This one just sold for 50,000.
And oh, you got a gift, Anthony. Yeah, it's for you. Check that out.
I love gifts. I already know it's gonna be amazing. Have you seen the watch stand stuff? Dude, it's so bad. These guys are
Yeah, they're incredible.
absolutely killing it. You know, that's bad.
Oh, it's a big one. Yeah, they were short.
Hey, thank you guys. Huge props to that. And it's a 2-piece.
But that's funny for your wrist, not mine.
What, on who?
Hi, Anthony and crew. I'm a huge fan of your YouTube channel.
It's not the right bracelet.
Okay, never mind.
It's an older bracelet, but
I'm a new company that hand makes everything out of cement. That's kind of cool. It's called Cemented. Cemented.Venice Beach. That's kind of cool. Holy shit. Damn, that's cool. Skull. It's got a beanie on it. It's made out of cement. We need to start a shelf. All the stuff people send. You know how Roman had that thing? Let's start a shelf. All the stuff that people sends us, we're gonna put on display. Dude, this took some work. Holy shit. I'm gonna spin it around too so you can see when you're ready. Dude, look at the detail on this thing, Marco. All right, guys, this is cool. Go check out cemented.Venice Beach.
oh no. What? What's wrong? Yeah, you want to see this?
Damn. Oh yeah, this is what I was, look at this. Happy birthday, Anthony and Marco. Tactical Elements Incorporated.
Jesus, this is kind of cool. I don't know what the hell this is. Maybe it is the tools, maybe not. So we have birthdays once a month on the 3rd and the 15th.
Oh, that's cool. We need these. We need stuff like that.
You know what we should do one day? We need to send back a package that comes with peanuts, like to make a point. Like, got peanut? Be like, nope, we're not opening it. Oh, this is a gift. I think this is from my boy Greg. Oh, damn. Damn, that's nice.
That's
Yo, check this out.
oh wow.
Very rare. Vintage release.
Oh, look at this. The whole team gets knives.
Check that out. Middleton, very rare.
Oh, look at that. There's 2 big ones for me and Marco, and then
And the rest for the team.
yeah.
Nice.
So, thank you guys.
Thank you very
was
much. Here you go.
Nice.
That
was Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
Nice.
Thank you, Greg. Highly appreciate the cigars. Highly appreciate the alcohol. I'm looking forward to having a drink and smoking a cigar. So
I've been drinking
thank you.
5 years. How long are you gonna let it age?
Maybe I'll pop it open. We'll
Might
see.
as well. Pop it open. In the newest edition of my collection, it is another Rolex Daytona, a Zenith Daytona at that, in yellow gold with an inverted 6, reference 16528. It's a black dial. It's gorgeous. You can never go wrong with the Daytona, and I'm glad I got it. Jumping right in, as always, guys, to keep from butchering y'all's names, I'm just gonna pop a picture of the profile and the question up on the screen, so let's get right into it. First question. What watch model do you think is the most underrated and best buy for the money? I'm gonna have to say a Vacheron Constantine Overseas, any one of those with a blue dial. Vacheron used to be considered one of the top 3 or the Holy Trinity, whatever you wanna call it. I won't get into the history, but basically they sold out to a Chinese company and then were later bought back by the Swiss. So collectors do not dub them a full Swiss company because of that little time away. So, next question. What is the best well-priced entry-level watch for a new collector? Well, it depends. It depends on what your budget is and what brand you are looking at. If you're looking at Rolex, probably a Datejust 36 millimeter in steel or two-tone. You can pick those up anywhere from $2,500 up to $5,000. If you're looking for a little bit more bang for your buck, I would look at Tudor. It's a sister company that used to be owned by Rolex. It is excellent quality. And if you think about where Rolex was back 20, 30 years ago, it's about the same price point as what Tudors are today. So going forward 20, 30 years from now, if the market keeps escalating and the brand keeps growing, Tudors will eventually be a five-figure watch. And that's just my best guess. Next question, Hulk or Batman? I would probably say Batman for the simple fact that it pairs with more outfits well. I've sold a lot of people Hulks for their first watch, and they always come back simply for the fact that a green dial, green bezel doesn't pair with everyday wear. Next question, any tips for starting a business? College just isn't for me. Well, I didn't go to college. I would say figure out what it is you love doing or what you could see yourself doing all day, every day, and make a business out of that. If you like drawing, become an artist. If you like photography, become a photographer. If you chase passion over money, you'll figure out how to make a business out of it. That's how I've created a business in the watch industry. Next question, what was your first luxury watch? I saved for about 6 months back when I was 20 years old to buy my first Breitling. It was a Breitling Chronomat 39, two-tone yellow gold with a gold dial and black subdials, and I love the watch. Next question, Yachtmaster 116622 and 126622 blue dial. Are they underrated or just overlooked? That's kind of the same thing. I think it's both, and I think that's because I'll use myself as an example. I love the Yachtmaster 40, both in the rhodium and the blue dial, but the problem with me in that watch is it just wears too small. It's a 40 millimeter watch, but it wears, actually, to me, it feels even smaller than a Daytona. I've gotten used to the Daytonas, but I just think it's not that, it doesn't have that sporty feel that a sub or a GMT or a Daytona has. Great watch, the platinum bezel gives it that matte finish and the contrast that makes it really pop. So for guys with smaller wrists that are looking to get into the sport world, take advantage of that. That's a good piece you can pick up cheaper at retail, slightly above retail right now, and I think it's got some long-term value there. Next question, I'm considering getting a watch for my girlfriend. What would you recommend? This goes back to price point. Are you looking to spend $2,000, $5,000, $10,000? Is there really not a budget? If there's not a budget and you're pretty flexible, I would say a two-tone date just, or better yet, go have a look at her jewelry collection. Does she wear more silver jewelry? Does she wear more gold jewelry? Does she have a combination of it? If she has a combination, you want to look for something that's two-tone. If it's all silver, then getting her a gold watch wouldn't work because women will not stack gold with silver and vice versa. So start by there. Start with taking a look at her jewelry collection, and then even get online, take her to a store and see which one she gravitates her eye more towards, and that'll give you a good idea. Next question, how do you determine the right moment to sell or trade a timepiece you really like? Well, me personally, I watch the market. Let's say I get bored with this Daytona and I want to trade into something new. I start looking, and put yourself in the seat of a consumer. Get online and see how many of these you can find for sale. If you can find a lot of them, it's probably not a good idea to try and sell, because the fact that there's so many to choose from, you're going to have to sell it cheaper. If you get online and there's not a lot of them available for sale, or if yours just happens to be in better condition, have the box and papers, then you may be able to get a little bit more of a premium for it. But for me, when I get bored with the watch and I'm ready to move into something new, I start looking for the next piece and I figure out how can I get the most for this one while saving a little bit on that one. Next question, your take on watch winders. I love watch winders. I've shared in another video that I'm a big advocate for all the extras that can come with the watch. You know, for me, it doesn't just stop at having a nice watch. I have watch winders on my nightstand. I have watch winders on my dresser. I have a watch winder in my kitchen so I can move the watches in there and put them on display when I have dinner parties. I actually have a safe with watch winders in it. I have travel rolls that I use whenever I travel. And I do this because it just adds to the extra value or appreciation I have for my watch. So I recommend watch winders. It's a cool way to display your watch. Plus, I rotate in and out of my watches so often, it is a pain in the ass to try and set 3 or 4 different watches 4 or 5 times a day. Next question, apart from the Deep Sea, what other Rolex can you recommend for big wrist? The Yachtmaster 2, it's a 44 millimeter, or the Skydweller. Those are gonna be the Yachtmaster 2, the Skydweller, and the Deep Sea are gonna be the biggest you can get. So it really depends on your style. The Yachtmaster 2 is gonna be easier to obtain, where the Sky Dweller is almost trading 10,000 over retail and harder to get your hands on. So it also depends on what you want to spend on that watch. All right, next question. Most unrated luxury brand. Well, it's hard to pick just one because there's not like a set way to value which one is the most unrated, so I'll just pick a couple. I would say several independent brands like Beauvais, Breguet, FP Journe, Grubel Forsey, they all make incredible watches. The marketing's just not there such that Rolex, Patek, and AP have. Another thing is price point. Price point on some Grubel Forzeys, on some of the Beauvais that double as pocket watches, it's just unattainable for most people and therefore not quite as popular. So, next question. What do you think about modern Rolex watches with the emblem from Oman? Worth the higher premium? That's a personal thing. I think yes, depending on the current premium. I'll give you an example. About 3 or 4 months ago, I was offered a Rolex Datejust 41 blue Roman dial on a Jubilee bracelet. It had the Oman stamp on the dial. It also had the Oman stamp on the papers. Such a cool watch. It's the only time I've ever seen one. The problem was the premium that guy was wanting was about $15,000. At the time, it didn't make sense and I passed on the watch, but now I kind of wish I did, because in today's market, that watch is selling for $12,000 to $12,500, not too far off. And if I were gonna keep that watch long term, yes, it would be pretty cool to have one. Had the premium been a little bit lower, around the $13,500 to $14,000, I may have pulled the trigger. Just in that moment, it seemed like too far of a stretch, which is typically common. Anything with foreign country signatures on it, people just, if it's a collector that owns it, they just automatically throw this huge premium on there because there's not a lot of data on them and there's not a lot of other ones for sale to gauge what you should pay for it. So, do you feel like you've reached your goal, or do you have a bigger one? If so, I would love to know. I have absolutely not reached my goals. I do hit micro goals, but all my micro goals stack up to a bigger goal. When I hit that bigger goal, that's really just a micro goal to an even bigger goal. At the time of this filming, I just opened, we're in the process of opening this new store. That was a goal for by the end of 2020. My goal next year is to have a second location. My goal a year after that, maybe have a third location, or even condense 2 locations into one bigger location and expand more. I have sales goals. This year we're going to hit X sales figure. Next year, I hope to double that. The year after that, I hope to double that. I guess if I were to say what my end goal would be, is to create a business and a lifestyle that is automatic. I don't think you really ever stop making goals, because if you do, that's when you stop growing. So I hope that answers that question. Next question. How do you find your clients? It's a pretty good question, but it's pretty simple. I talk to everyone I know about watches. I post on every social media platform available. I go to trade shows. I talk to dealers. I visit jewelry stores. I eat out for every meal. I have coffee at a coffee shop. I have breakfast at a different place. I have lunch at a different place, and I have dinner at nice restaurants every single day. And I do it with intention to go meet other people. You are your business card, so you need to be out networking. If you see someone wearing a nice watch, compliment them and to see where the conversation goes. So there you go. Next question. Which watch is the best to start dealing or trading? I would say Rolex, hands down. It's the easiest one to find. It's the easiest one to sell. Everybody wants one, and you can move those. If you think small profits and focus on moving them fast, you can move Rolexes same day. Versus if you were to go out and buy a Breitling or a Franck Muller or a Panerai, those things take weeks and months to sell if you're trying to make a profit. Get a Rolex, flip it, start doing volume. Next question. Payment plans. Yes, we do standard layaway. We have some little things we can tweak to that, where you start an account, you add money to it, and when you get to about 70% of what you want to spend, we go out and find you a watch. That way you're not at risk of losing any money or any time. All right, next question. Should one consider purchasing watches for investment or future values? Now, I'm a big advocate, and I do believe that watches are investments. I will actually retire one day, and the majority of my retirement portfolio will be my watch collection. And I do this because in the time that I can think of in my life, my family has lost a third to a half of their stock portfolio due to 2001, the dot-com bubble, 2006, the housing market, and then what we've just gone through, the COVID crisis. Stocks are up and down. They're all over the place. My watches, I just actually sold most of my watch collections because we're at the top of the market and I made a nice profit. I'll be able to buy all my watches again when the market dips for less than what I sold them for. So I get the same watches back and I've made money, and I'll keep doing this throughout the rest of my life. I buy watches that are specific to desirable pieces I think will go up in value, but I also buy stuff that I'm gonna wear. So to answer your question, yes, I think you should put money in watches, but only if you're going to enjoy wearing them. If you're gonna buy a watch just to sock it away in a safe, I don't think that's a good idea. You could put money in real estate, you could put money in stocks and make a much bigger premium. You could start your own business and make a lot more off that money than hoping the value of a watch goes up. Because at the end of the day, no matter what watch I put in my collection, none of them are really guaranteed to go up in value. Next question. When do you see the market for steel sports watches correcting? I'm guessing what you mean is when are they going to come back down to retail or actually more affordable? And I would probably say the year 2251. That's about right. Next question. Why so much hate for Richard Mille? Jealousy or genuine reasons? I actually don't hate Richard Mille at all. I love Richard Mille. I just can't personally justify the price point. Richard Mille makes some amazing watches. There's two that I really want for my personal collection. I just think that there is going to be a correction, and when that happens, it's too big of a swing for me to justify spending that kind of money. So I don't know what it holds. I can't say, I won't guess. Phenomenal watches, incredible, incredible craftsmanship behind it. I'm just not on that level yet to spend that kind of money either. So next question. Why don't brands like Vacheron Constantin and Gerard Perregaux get as much love as Patek and AP? Plain and simple, marketing. Patek and AP spend way more money on marketing than the other two brands. Vacheron actually used to be considered one of the big Trinity. The problem is, if you look at some history, and then they sold off to a Chinese company and then came back to Swiss ownership. So purists and collectors don't consider them a pure Swiss brand because of that lapse in ownership. But back to, for Patek and AP, it's just marketing, and it's who's willing to spend more. All right, next question. Is it possible to have a baller watch on a budget? Absolutely it is. Now, it depends on what your definition of baller and budget is. If your definition of a baller watch is something that looks like it's $60,000, but your budget's $2,500, that's gonna be hard. If your definition is a watch that looks like more than what it is, then sure, you could get a two-tone Datejust 36 and throw an aftermarket diamond bezel on it. Costs you about $6,000, but it looks like a $12,000 to $15,000 watch to someone that doesn't know. You could even look at other brands that have depreciated a lot. There are some, there's some six-figure watches that you can buy almost 25% of the original retail value. I've seen double and triple tourbillon watches that used to have a retail price of $150,000 to $200,000 that are on the secondary market at $25,000, $30,000, $40,000. So yes, it's very possible. You just gotta decide what baller and budget means to you. Next question. As a luxury watch seller and having luxury, are you materialistic? Yes, it comes with the territory, but there's a difference. My definition of materialistic is a little bit different from most people's, because materialistic to me means you like nice things. Now, there's nothing wrong with liking nice things. There's nothing wrong with spending an absorbent amount of money on nice things if you're doing it responsibly. If you're going out and you're making $100,000 a year and you're spending $80,000 of that on material things, then yes, that's not a good definition of materialistic. However, if, like me, you have money put away in a watch collection for retirement, your kid has money, your kid has a college fund, you have a life insurance policy, you own some real estate, all your bills are paid, and then you go out and spend what's left over after that on whatever you want, then absolutely. And that's exactly what I do. I pay everything else first, I pay myself first, I put money in savings, and then I go buy anything I want. But that's why I work hard and I focus on making more money. I don't focus on just the stuff I'm spending. Next question. What helps you determine the value of a watch, Rolex, and what questions do I ask sellers? Well, I'll just pretend that I'm an individual consumer. If a watch comes to me and I'm considering buying it or reselling it, I want to get online and look and see how many I can find that are pretty comparable. If I'm seeing average prices between, say, $3,500 and $4,200, that gives me an idea of what the market says this watch is worth, or at least the asking prices online. What questions would I ask a seller? Ask about service history, ask about why they may be selling. kind of gauge if it's a need for money, if there's an issue with the watch, if they are looking for something new, kind of see if maybe popularity is dying on this watch, ask about condition, what it comes with, stuff like that. Next question. Your thoughts on watches from clothing brands. I don't see a point in them. You're good at clothing. If you've built a reputation as a clothing brand, stick to clothing. We see car companies do this all the time. Lamborghini came out with a watch. Ferrari's come out with a watch. Porsche's come out with the Porsche design watches. Have you ever seen anybody? I've never had someone call me and ask me for a Ferrari watch or a Lamborghini watch. Same thing with clothes. I think Supreme is doing some stuff with Jacob right now. Supreme is a clothing brand. It became popular as a clothing brand. When companies try to venture off to too many different things, I've never really seen it follow through. So I don't support them, or I don't buy them. I mean, I don't think they're worth the value. If you like it, get one. Next question. What's the biggest obstacle a watch dealer faces in the business? Cash, inventory. No matter how big or small you are, no matter how deep your pockets are, there's never enough money to continuously buy an inventory. As your name gets bigger and as your business gets bigger, more people keep offering you more and more stuff. I mean, if someone gave me $10 million today, I could spend it all and still not have enough money to buy all the watches that are offered to me. Next question. If you were to pick an entry-level AP, which one would it be? Well, AP came out with the AP Diver specifically for that reason. They wanted to give the average consumer a way to get into AP without having to spend, high teens or low 20s in there. Personally, I don't see the divers holding a lot of value. I would step up a little bit and I would look for a pre-owned Royal Oak offshore. You can pick some of them, such as the Safari or the Navy, up around anywhere from the $14,000 to $15,000 price point. That's a solid piece. Look for an offshore that's already depreciated from its original retail value. Next question. Which is better, factory set stones or stones added later? Well, hands down, factory stones are always going to be better than aftermarket, but the difference is you're going to pay a higher price for them as well. They're going to hold better value, but you're going to spend twice as much out of the gate. Next question. When do you recommend getting an LLC for trading watches, and any tax tips or tricks? What do you write off? Okay. For the LLC, if you're planning on buying, selling, part-time, full-time, whatever, I recommend getting an LLC and getting a wholesale license. This allows you to buy watches from other dealers in the same state, as well as from individuals without having to pay sales tax on it. As far as tax tips and tricks, that's a question for your accountant. What do I write off? Pretty much anything that has to do with my business. If I use this computer, that's a write-off. When I eat out, that's a write-off. Actually, I could sit here and go into a lot of detail about this. This is a question for a simple accountant. I don't want to tell you anything wrong. Next question. What's the toughest situation during COVID for you and your business? Well, when COVID started happening, I remember it vividly. It was about late February, early March. We started to see this little bit of a decline in retail sales, but I wasn't really worried that much because we were also coming in a tax season. A lot of dealers that have been in the business for a while, or even retail sales in general, it's just natural to slow down in February because of tax season, because people have exhausted all their resources for the previous holidays. So we already kind of expected it to be slow. We didn't expect it to just stop, but we were fairly well prepared to not do a lot of sales. When COVID hit at its hardest, which was my birthday weekend, March 15th, stuff just shut down. We just stopped selling for about 7 weeks. And I remember in the first or second week of May, we started pushing stuff again. And May actually happened to be our best month on record, followed by June and July. So for 2 months there, we just completely shut our doors and enjoyed a vacation. Next question. What is the first thing you look for on a fake Rolex? Have you encountered really good fakes? First thing I always look for is the seller and the price. Don't even worry about the watch. What's your gut feeling tell you about the price and about the person offering it to you? If it feels queasy or if the price seems too good to be true, start looking at the watch. Have I encountered really good fakes? Yes, I have had several fakes that have actually duped other dealers, and I'm in the process of making videos for those, so stay tuned for that. Next question. Are there watches in the 4 to 6K range that will increase in value over time? If so, what are they? I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the video. I think Tudor's a great watch. If you're talking about Rolex, for men, there's not really a lot of good options. Actually, there are not any options I think you can get for $4,000 to $6,000 that will increase over time, because you're really just looking at a date just. If you're willing to look outside other brands, I would look at Tudor. If you look back to where Rolex was 20 years ago with their price point, it's where Tudor is right now. So go ahead or go forward 20 more years. If Tudor keeps making good watches and they keep building their brand, you're gonna see Tudor get into the 5-figure watches, and the value you pay today will be worth more in the future. All right, and we are at the last question today. It's a great question. What are the other costs associated to being a watch trader? Insurance, marketing, etc. Well, pretty simply, it would be inventory, storage space if you have a safe, travel time getting back and forth to see clients. You can keep it really cheap, and there is a lot of watch dealers that don't have any overhead at all other than their inventory. It depends on what kind of watch trader you want to be. Myself, I spend an absorbent amount of money on marketing, and not marketing and advertising. I've already shared that I eat out every meal. Every night I spend between $100 and $200 on dinner at a nice restaurant, but I do it with intention. My intention is always to go meet a client. I sit and I talk watches to people. We're at the point now where we spend a lot of money on security. We've spent money on, I just bought a car. We've got a new office. We built this office out. The sky's the limits to how much you can spend, but it's all dependent on how big you want to get. We want to get really big, really fast. We spend a lot of money doing it. If you want to be a solo watch dealer and operate out of your home or your apartment and just spend as little as a few $1,000s on a safe and inventory, you can do that as well. So I hope that answers your question. Guys, I hope you got a lot of value out of that. That's our questions for today. If there's anything I missed or anything you need me to elaborate on, please drop a question below in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell so you're alerted anytime I post new videos. As always, we've got a lot of great content on